I wasn't sure if I was alone or not. I couldn't hear anyone else, couldn't sense anyone else, so I cautiously assumed no one else was there. It really was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I couldn't tell if there was a chair to sit on or any other objects in the room, nor could I tell how big the room was. Something made me think this was not that large of a room. I could sense spatial dimensions sometimes, where walls might be only so slightly, at best only estimating them. Then, a sound entered the room. A high-pressure sound, hard to describe, almost as if steam, heat, air, vapors were being sucked into something. The noise seemed to speed up and get louder until it got to a certain frequency, then slowed down and became more quiet, to the point where I couldn't hear it anymore at all. It then started up again, got faster and louder until it got to the same frequency, the same pitch as before, and then as before slowed down and got more quiet again. It did this 9 times, getting louder and faster, then slower and more quiet, and after the 9th time it stopped. How much time passed, I don't know. It seemed to go on forever, with me just standing still, standing in this dark room, having no idea why I was here, where I was, nor what was going to happen. After the sound stopped, silence dominated for what seemed to be the same amount of time. I was getting tired, yet still anxious, uncomfortable, nervous. I just wish I could sit down on something, but I didn't want to risk sitting on something I shouldn't have, either for my own protection or because I might mess something up important. So I just stood there in the darkness, doing nothing but waiting. And finally, I saw something. A door opened on what seemed to be the other side of the room, about 30 feet away. Light from another room entered the room I was in, but the light was so faint that the light illuminated barely anything at all. Soon a person came from this other room, then another, and more until it seemed 11 people in black robes entered the room. They seemed to go in the same direction, but I couldn't tell. What amazed me was that all 11 of them seemed to know exactly where they were going without any light to show them the way. Sure, the light faintly coming into this room from the other one may have helped them a bit, but not much. For if I couldn't see any light hitting them beyond a couple feet inside that doorway, then that must mean the light wasn't really helping them much either. All of these people also barely made any noise as they walked inside, going somewhere in the room. None of them seemed to get very close to me, just simply going to another area of the room, perhaps against a wall. It seemed they were sitting on something next to each other, but I couldn't tell for sure. None of them said anything to anyone else. They all knew where they were going, walked there, found their places, and sat down. I didn't know what to say or do. I simply stood there and waited for one of them to say something. Eventually, someone did. "You've been told not to observe our rites or ceremonies unless told otherwise, nothing, man." A very masculine, but I could tell female voice said from the darkness. I apologize. I had never been to that part of this place before, nor this one. I was simply following Anubis. He took me through there, and I thought I was supposed to follow where he went, so I did. "But you stopped to watch the ceremony. The guard didn't tell you to do that." Another voice, this time an older male voice, said, "I'm sorry. Do you know how fortunate you are to have the seer's sight? And not only that, but you haven't gone insane. Most seers go insane, you know. another male voice said this time. Yes, I know, I responded. You should consider yourself lucky, another male voice said. You do realize none of us have a seer sight, don't you? Well, sir, I don't know who any of you are, so I don't know that for sure. But if you tell me so, I'll take your word for it. Insolence is not something we support in your character traits, Nothing Man, another female voice said. I'm sorry. You know, that is one of the main reasons why you could never be initiated. Do you understand? Another male voice said. Behavior like that has no place within our order. I understand. I appreciate the trust you have in me. Have me working for you without being initiated into the order. You are not working for us, Nothing Man, another male voice said. This is not a job. I know. I don't get paid for the work that I do, so if it was a job, then I would expect a salary. But no, this is not a job. It's, well, whatever it is. And what that is, I agree with you. It's not a job. You seem unwilling to consider your character faults seriously and act accordingly, another female voice said. Please desist in your passion for sarcastic and insolent remarks. Understood. Do you know why you're here? A female voice asked me. No. Shot. On both sides. Thought there would be a murder taking place only to be baffled by benediction and born-again bric-a-bracs, a female voice remarked on religious holidays. They came to a secret understanding, the two sides and the nun, for there were two and one, and many more and none. As I lost myself in the crowd, I responded, shell-shocked, running down the middle, and steering clear of ethnic cleansing. Is that what was remarked and then requested of me down the deer's driveways and dicks? Female deer were anything but impressed. For they'd seen those sorts of things before, the female voice said. From what I understand, I began. You're correct, they have. Pretty jaded deer, if you ask me and myself and I, that cackle servants from yesterday, today, and tomorrow bring the wrong yardsticks to carve games. You are here, Nothing Man, the female voice said, because there is something very important which we need you to do. Okay. This time it's more important than times before, said a male voice. Thus why you were brought to an area which you had never been before, through certain passageways very few know of, and through the back of the cathedral, and finally to here where you are standing right now. Thus also why there is no light in this room at the moment, and why you do not see any of us. Our identities must be hidden from you, and the contents of this room must be hidden from you. Understood. And so, began a female voice, what we need you to do is to find something of perhaps the highest level of importance, something which, if truth be told or not, as lies lay hold of the layman and his son, forges out another woman's daughter, all in secret and all in the open, bright as day, dark as night. There is truly nothing more important to the destiny of mankind and beyond than the item which we are going to ask you to retrieve. The woman stopped speaking after that and said no more. I waited for someone else to say something, but no one did. So we were all there in silence. No one moving, no noises made. Nothing but silence and waiting. I thought of saying something a few times, but decided I better not. So I waited. Again. And finally, someone spoke. This item nothing man, began a male voice, is so important, so powerful, so profound, that you should consider it more important than the Holy Grail itself. Holy shit, I thought to myself. What the hell were they going to ask me to get? Why me? Whatever it was, if it was this important, wouldn't they want someone who was initiated into the order to find it? Wouldn't they want one of their own to do it? Someone they trusted more than me? I don't know, but I guess they would tell me. Or not. The item is the eye, the female voice said. I waited for the woman to say more, but she didn't. I thought then maybe one of the others would, but no one else said anything. The eye? I asked in obvious perplexity. What exactly is the eye? Do you mean the Eye of Ra? Or Osiris or Horus or something? One of those Egyptian gods or figures or symbols? Something else? Is it a real eye, a human eye, or animal's eye? Is it an old object dating back thousands of years, or something relatively new? We cannot tell you, the male voice said. Well, is there anything else you can tell me? I asked, frustrated. What this object looks like, where I might find it, if there are other people who might help me find it, if there's anything dangerous I need to be on the lookout for, anything at all. We cannot tell you anything more, the female voice said. We apologize for the lack of information, but it is required that we do so. All we can say is that you need to find the eye and bring it back to us. There will be a point when you will know what it is, and will find it, and then return it back to us.